Assalamu alaikum. 6 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumera Kamal. The headlines first. US President in his meeting with Prime Minister in Washington appreciated his vision for peace in South Asia and expressed readiness to play a facilitating role in resolution of the Kashmir dispute. Imran Khan has invited the US investors to benefit from the new initiatives and reforms being implemented by the government to promote investment in the country. Pakistan and the United Kingdom have agreed to continue engagement on arms control, non-proliferation, and disarmament issues. Leader of Islamic Supreme Council of Iraq has said peace in the region could not be maintained unless resolution of the core issue of Kashmir in line with UN resolutions. In India, both the houses of parliament witnessed pandemonium today when opposition parties asked Prime Minister Modi to explain his position over President Trump's comment regarding mediation on Kashmir issue. Boris Johnson has been nominated as next British Prime Minister, replacing Theresa May. And now the news in detail. US President Donald Trump has appreciated Pakistan's contribution in the Afghan peace process. He was speaking during a meeting with Prime Minister Imran Khan at the White House in Washington. According to a press release issued by Foreign Office, the two leaders reviewed progress of the Afghan peace and reconciliation process. Prime Minister Imran Khan said pursuing the process was a shared responsibility. President Trump also appreciated the Prime Minister's vision for peace in South Asia. Imran Khan said Pakistan is convinced that normalization of relations with India will be mutually beneficial for the two countries. President Trump expressed his readiness to play a facilitating role in resolution of Kashmir dispute. The two leaders affirmed their resolution to work together across a broad range of areas. They acknowledged the immense opportunity and potential for mutually beneficial collaboration in diverse fields such as trade, investment, energy, economic connectivity, and defense and security cooperation. Prime Minister Imran Khan has said Pakistan would be willing to give up its nuclear weapons if India was able to keep the same promise. In an interview with Fox News in Washington, he said nuclear war is not an option and India must abandon its nuclear weapons. He said Pakistan has a comprehensive and effective nuclear command and control system. Imran Khan said the armed forces of Pakistan are professional forces and are fully capable of dealing with every challenge. Prime Minister called on India to come to the negotiating table first and expressed optimism. The United States is the only country which can play a role of mediator between India and Pakistan to resolve the issue of Kashmir. Prime Minister Imran Khan has invited the member companies of US-Pakistan Business Council to expand their footprint in Pakistan and benefit from the country's strategic location, large consumer market, and young population. He was talking to a delegation of US-Pakistan Business Council led by Executive Vice President and Head of International Affairs of US Chamber of Commerce, Myron Brilliant, in Washington. Myron Brilliant and other executives expressed their strong confidence in Pakistan's economy and growth potential for US businesses and offered to help the government in its reform efforts where needed. Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting Dr. Firdaus Ashiq-Ewan says Prime Minister Imran Khan effectively presented Pakistan's narrative at his meetings with US President Donald Trump at the White House. Addressing a news conference in Karachi today, she said the Prime Minister won the Pakistan's case as a peace-loving nation in his successful talks with the US President. Firdaus Ashiq-Ewan said Pakistan's negative image has been returned into positive as the country's role in establishing peace in the region, particularly in Afghanistan, has been recognized by the US President. Chairman Pakistan People's Party Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has announced unconditional support to government's efforts for engaging with the world. In a tweet today, he said everybody should support Pakistan's efforts towards that end. However, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said he will always provide constructive criticism when needed. Pakistan and the United Kingdom have agreed to continue engagement on arms control, non-proliferation, and disarmament issues. The agreement was reached during the fourth round of Pakistan-United Kingdom bilateral consultations on arms control, non-proliferation, and disarmament in Islamabad today. According to Foreign Office, talks were held in an open and constructive atmosphere, and the two sides discussed issues on international arms control and non-proliferation agenda. They also discussed issues relating to global and regional security and stability, as well as areas of cooperation and collaboration in multilateral fora. This is Radio Pakistan. Leader of Islamic Supreme Council of Iraq, Sheikh Dr. Humam Hamoudi, has said peace in the region could not be maintained unless resolution of the core issue of Kashmir through meaningful dialogue in line with UNSC resolutions and aspirations of the Kashmiris. He was talking to media persons after meeting with President Azad Jammu Kashmir Sardar Masood Khan in Muzaffarabad today. In India, opposition parties, especially the Congress, have demanded that Prime Minister Narendra Modi clarify on US President Donald Trump's comment regarding mediation between Pakistan and India on Kashmir issue. Amid chaos in Parliament today over US President Donald Trump's claim that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had asked him to mediate on Kashmir, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar said he was categorically assuring the House that no such request had been made by PM Modi to the American president. Not appeased by the minister's clarification, opposition parties aggressively demanded that Prime Minister Modi clarify on President Trump's comments in the parliament. The opposition said they would not stop protesting until Prime Minister Modi's reply. Opposition parties walked out from Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Unrelenting protests forced more than one adjournment. Former Mayor of London Boris Johnson has been elected new Conservative leader in the ballot of party members and will become the next UK Prime Minister. He beat Jeremy Hunt by securing 92,153 votes, while his rival bagged 46,656 votes. He will take over the charge from Theresa May tomorrow. In his victory speech at the Queen Elizabeth II Centre in London, Boris Johnson promised that he would deliver Brexit, unite the country, and defeat Jeremy Corbyn. He said, "We are going to energize the country and get Brexit done on 31st October. The Arab League has denounced Israel's demolition of scores of Palestinian houses in East Jerusalem. In a statement, Arab League's Assistant Secretary General for Palestine Affairs and Occupied Arab Territories, Saeed Abu Ali, said this serious escalation comes as part of Israel's incessant and systematized aggression against the Palestinian people. He said it's the worst episode of Israel's crimes against the Palestinian people for decades, as these buildings are constructed in Area A, which should be under control of the Palestinian Authority under the 1993 Oslo Agreement. Russia's Ministry of Defense has denied reports that its strategic bombers had violated South Korean airspace. According to Russian international news agency, Ministry of Defense accused South Korean jets of carrying out dangerous maneuvers that threatened its aircraft. Earlier, defense officials in Seoul said the South Korean Air Force had fired hundreds of warning shots at a Russian military aircraft that illegally entered South Korean airspace today. And finally, the weather. Rain, wind, thunderstorm is expected at scattered places in Hazara, Peshawar, Mardan, Gujranwala, Lahore, Rawalpindi divisions, Islamabad and Kashmir, while at isolated places in Malakand, Kohat, Job, Kalat, Mirpur Khas, Sargodha and Faisalabad divisions. Hot and humid weather is expected elsewhere in the country during the next 12 hours. To end the news, here are some of the headlines once again. US President, in his meeting with the Prime Minister in Washington, appreciated his vision for peace in South Asia and expressed readiness to play a facilitating role in resolution of the Kashmir dispute. Imran Khan has invited the US investors to benefit from the new initiatives and reforms being implemented by the government to promote investment in the country. Boris Johnson has been nominated as next British Prime Minister, replacing Theresa May. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News Official.